Hey everyone, it's Norm Farrar, aka the Beard Guy here, and welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the rise of the microbrands.
Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm. Lunch with
Okay, so today I'm going to be joined by Afolabi Oyerokun, and he's a sourcing expert, also a partner in Honu Worldwide. And today we're going to be discussing COVID 2.0 and also the Chinese New Year, what to expect, how to plan around it. But before we get to that, Kelsey, I can't hear you because you're muted.
There we go. We're good.
Okay.
Yes, happy Cyber Monday, everyone. Hope you guys are enjoying some sales. What are you guys buying today? You can go ahead, post it over in the comment sections. Is there anything you're looking at today or Black Friday maybe?
I want to know how everybody's Black Friday was, how it went.
Yeah. So, scale of 1 to 10. How was your Black Friday experience as a seller? Put that in the comment section. But more about the show. If you're new, you can follow us on social media. We have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We are streaming live from the Facebook group too. So any discussions about selling online in Amazon, you'll find them in the Facebook group. You need to answer 3 questions to get in. They're very easy questions. So
what's your name?
Yeah. So if you're interested, go on. It's Lunch with Norm, Amazon FBA, and eCommerce Collective, and we are a podcast, so you can find us on Apple and Spotify too. So,
all right.
Yeah.
And if you are watching this on a replay, you can always just skip ahead. And for those watching on my profile page, you can head over to the official fan page, Norm Farrar, aka the Beard Guy, where you can see full episodes as well as content and clips that Kelsey's put together.
Ooh. And hello, Marina.
Ah.
Marina's joining us. Yes. I don't know if you guys can hear, but the rain is hitting off my window. But it's a stormy day here in Toronto.
Oh, yeah, it's cool up here too. I'm just trying to warm up. All right. So I guess the last thing is just if you do have any questions, put it over in the comments section, and we will get your questions and tackle your comments. Hopefully during the show. If not, we'll do it after the show. So sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, and enjoy the episode. Afolabi.
Hey, how are you?
I got to get one of those orange, like those really beautiful orange tracksuit. We got to do that.
It's like a special signatory one. It's just for me.
Yeah,
Sorry.
You did it to be color coordinated with the website, right?
Yeah, cool. You should see my shoes. It's nicely matching.
Oh, really? Orange shoes too. Very nice.
Yeah, kind of.
A stylish young man.
I'm trying.
Hey, for those of us that don't know anything about you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing?
Well, thank you again, Norm, for having me on the show. I'm Afolabi, and I enjoy sourcing. I've been doing this for more than 20 years. Sourcing, supply chain, and then recently we just opened a 20,000 square foot warehouse here. So, woohoo!
Yeah.
We're cranking up and getting ready. There's been a lot of heavy orders going on. So I've been sourcing for over 20 years. Different products. I just like negotiations. I enjoy working with China a lot. I spent a lot of time there, understanding the culture, the people, and I just love it out there. That's what I do all day: sourcing, logistics, supply chain. It's what I enjoy the most, and some of those things we're going to share this episode of the show as well.
Okay, fantastic. But before we do that, just wanted to give a bunch of shout outs to Marina again from Toronto, Darwin, Mark, Facebook user.
So
maybe that's
Tom and Rad.
Oh, okay, very good. Simon, and also Lisa. So thanks for joining today. I don't know about you, Afolabi, but I was looking at a bunch of different brands that I manage, and then my own brands. I didn't see, I see some people saying, they got 1,000,000%, increase in sales. I didn't see that big of a bump across anything that we did. Like we saw some, but years that we used to have maybe a 300 or 400% increase, there was a bump. Did you notice anything different?
Yes, especially in school supplies. There was a major one in school supplies. There's also a major one in Christmas because people were shopping early. So starting from like beginning of November, most of the gift items really went up. And as I had predicted in our last show several months ago, baby products, it is rising.
Yeah.
It is rising.
I could have predicted that. Well, you did predict that, so there you go.
It is rising. The COVID babies, they're shopping for the COVID babies.
That's a tough category, though. Anytime you want to get into something like baby category is tougher, but those people in it are they'll reap the benefits. But I'm just talking about like we had a lot of typical beauty items, even pet items. I saw an increase, but I didn't see 100 or 200%. And also, usually they'd be the spike on the Friday and the Saturday. It was kind of reversed. If I did see anything, it was on the Saturday. Weird. I don't know why. But anyways, I noticed that there was a couple of comments here. So before we get started on that, Kels, can you
just go through them?
Yeah, because they're about a millimeter high for me. I do see that Victor and Alan are on now too. So hi guys.
All right. So let's see. So Darwin, slight increases in sales Friday. I'm not buying anything today, but hoping to sell a ton. From Mark. Let's see. Hello, Norm, Kelsey, and Afolabi. I'm out picking up a generator. Recent electrical outages, and the wife says no more. And I believe this is from Tom and Rad, the Facebook users. They are in the Facebook group.
All right.
So for those in the Facebook group, if you're commenting, we can't see. It comes up as Facebook user.
Fix that, Kels.
I wish. But I'm constantly checking the Facebook group to see who it is, so you won't go unnoticed. But Lisa, good morning.
Lisa?
Yeah, Lisa from Novaland. Simon, seeing sea freight costs increase 3 or 4 times in the last week and is expected to stay high throughout Q1. And let me see. We got Alan, Victor saying hello. Darwin, I'm in the baby industry. It's cutthroat and stressful, but it's worth it.
Oh, look at Victor. Look at what he's saying. Do you want? Yes, Victor, we want.
I thought it was like through StreamYard that there's an issue streaming in groups, but yeah, if you have a solution, let us know. But Jackie, evening from Wales.
All the way from Wales.
Wow. Okay, got lots of people out, looking good. That's great to hear. And that's it for now. Okay,
so I'm not the only one going crazy about these Black Friday sales then, because it's interesting because we're going to be talking about that today in a way. I guess the first thing that we should be talking about is COVID 2.0, and how do you think it's going to affect sourcing or just the next quarter?
Well, in so many ways, and we're already seeing it. If we have to learn from COVID 1.0, we shouldn't let it repeat. We shouldn't let all the effects, the bad ones, repeat themselves in the 2.0. We should be better prepared because 2.0, we don't know what's going to happen. Everybody's waiting for vaccines. Everybody's gearing up and say, I was talking to somebody yesterday and it's like, once I get my vaccine, I should be able to travel back to China. Nobody knows what's going to happen. All we can do is just have to be prepared. Now we're going into Chinese New Year again. So COVID 2.0 plus Chinese New Year, double hit. We just have to be prepared. Nobody knows. I wish I have. We already seen sea freight going up.
Yeah.
It's going up. Now, some companies, some factories are starting to recover from the impact of COVID 1.0. If 2.0 hits, I don't know if they're going to survive. We don't know if they're going to survive. We don't have We don't have reports of COVID in China so far, but if it hits, as it's looking like it's going to, we have to brace. We have to brace and be better prepared for what's coming.
Okay, so this happens. Do you recommend doing more factory audits when you're sourcing?
Oh, a lot of things, a lot of recommendations. First, I would say for your Q1 and Q2, you have to double up on your orders. If you can get your orders out of China before the Chinese New Year, it would be very good. Why? Because first, maybe some people that don't know what Chinese New Year is, maybe we let them know.
Sure.
It is a period of time in China that everything shuts down. Everybody goes to their hometown. It's between February 11 to 17, I believe, next year. So people go out for almost a month sometimes. Usually it's like a week holiday, but because people travel so far away back to their hometown, like 2-3 day journey, it takes a while for them to come back. So they always stay away for up to three weeks sometimes. So Chinese New Year is coming, and how do we better prepare? I would say to double up on your orders. If you can still order more now to be able to get it out of China before February 5, I would say, it's going to be well worth it, because if some companies never make it back, or you're counting on when China is going to resume from Chinese New Year before you place your order, it's too big of a risk, because some of them might not resume again. If they do resume, it's going to take at least 30 to 45 days before they can ramp back up again into full production capacity. Sometimes as much as 60 days for them to get back. And that will severely, you already lost Q2.
Right. And habits are habits. People that are going to wait to the last minute are going to wait to the last minute. But unfortunately, I don't think if you're waiting to the last minute to do this, and that might be just human nature, or that might be you're trying to wait for shipping rates to come down. They're not. I don't think they're going to come down right now.
Nope.
Like they're up there. They're artificially inflated. But I like usually in January you'd see them start to come down. I'm not sure if that'll happen. But I'm not going to take the chance either. And when you say double up your inventory, we've talked about this before, but it's a good time to talk to your manufacturer. They probably want the work. And this is where, a sourcing agent or yourself would go in and negotiate that. And okay, we're going to be doing it.
Yep.
They'll probably say no at first, but then you have to explain why. And number one is you're taking those marketing dollars in a very tough situation right now and applying them to move their product. That's probably the biggest thing. One of the things that we have to take a look at is just trying to see if you could, do 20% deposit. And we've done it, like, the knives that we work with. So we've done that. And we've got crazy terms. We ended up doubling the order, so 2,500 units, and like 5,000 units. So it's 2,500 units normally. We got to put a very small deposit down. I think it was 20%, and then 20% when we were shipping, and then they gave us the rest in 90-day terms. Not that we even asked for that. They gave us 90-day. So you never know what's going to happen. But if it's cash flow that's causing you to stop right now, solve it. There's lots of different ways that you can go out and solve cash flow issues. There's all sorts of different ways. We've talked about it. There's episodes that we've done here. I think there's 2 that we've done. Kelsey could probably post them. But there are definitely different ways. You don't want to undercapitalize. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have to prepare. I don't know what you think about this, but out of those 5,000 units, my way of doing this, my inventory strategy would have been keeping the half over in Amazon, half at the 3PL, and 2,500 units. I'm talking half. 2,500 units came in, half would go of those would go to Amazon, half would stay in the 3PL. The other 2,500 units would typically stay at the warehouse. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know if I would bring over more. I probably would, instead of having 2,500 just hanging back, because again, we don't know. We're going through it right now where look at how many conversations we've had. I don't know if you want to say good conversations over the last couple of weeks about getting inventory into Amazon.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
You've got the freight, you've got receiving. So, you're at the port. You've got to get through that. You got to clear customs. You've got to get it into Amazon. And along those ways, there's holdups everywhere you can imagine.
Yes. Yes. So we could talk about the holdups in China, but even in the US now, USPS, FedEx, UPS, they are a mess. They are dealing with the largest surge in e-commerce. They can't even cope. Many times at us, 3PL here, we have to almost like call for UPS 53-footer truck just to come pick up products, because all the small SPD orders, the vans are carrying about huge boxes all over town. They don't even have room for anything. So we have to 2 times your planned time. So if you plan that once your goods ship out of your 3PL, it's going to get checked in a week, no.
Yeah.
You have to plan 2-3 weeks now.
But that depends too where you're located in the US. If you're trying to get it into LA, you could be forever. I think it was Tim Jordan and I were talking, and he was saying that he's trying to take any product that he was going to ship over to LA, go around, take a few extra days, and go to New York instead. Yes. And then have it distributed to your 3PL on the East Coast. Typically, that's better. Like for us, for example, the Pennsylvania warehouse, we shipped out some product the other day. Mm-hmm. It took about a week, but we got some of it in. They didn't put it all in. They put in a portion of it. I don't know where the other stuff is. Mm-hmm. But that's probably a better bet. Like, it's all about positioning. And if you can wait a few extra days, then going to New York might be faster. Yeah.
At the moment, East Coast is faster. There were some products that I shipped last week, Tuesday, and by Friday they were already checked in.
Yeah.
And it was treated as a UPS freight. So the truck came and they were going to Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Illinois. And they were checked in within 4 days. Done.
So AVP1 is that's Hazelwood, I believe.
Yep. AVP1.
That's doing pretty good.
Yes. ABE8 is doing well.
Yeah.
That's in Florence.
So these are some things to remember when you're doing it. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, it's all about positioning and where the your 3PL is. And again, if you can't take the time, take it. Now, I don't know who told me this. I think it was Tim. I think it was Tim that was telling me this, that if you order, if it's LTL, so, less than a truckload, and you get them picked up, it could take weeks. The trick that they had was ordering the whole container. Like, if you had the money and you could order the full transport container, then if you loaded, like for us, this was the discussion we were having, 2 pallets, it would cost a heck of a lot more, but what are you losing in sales?
Yeah,
and then the other way of doing it, which we're not that far away, we're about an hour away, but you can take the product, put it into, like, just make your own arrangements, call for an appointment. That's another way of speeding things up. But right now, just ordering that full truckload, that seems to be one way of working out. So that's just a shortcut. And I believe it was Tim that told me that. If I'm not crediting the right person, let me know. But I think it was Tim.
Yes, one of the things I think you said that I tried and it worked, and I think you said you heard it from Tim, was the UPS freight truck.
Oh, yeah, that works.
You gang up all your SPDs. As long as it's more than 3 or 4 pallets, the UPS van will not take it. They have to call for a UPS truck. Now, once the UPS truck comes and you load up those pallets, even though they were SPD boxes, once the truck comes, they upgrade you to a UPS freight status. And once you get on that status, it goes direct.
Yeah. I think there is a weight limit on doing that. I think it's 600 pounds. I think 600, 650. But you order it twice and you can do whatever you want with it.
Yep.
But okay, hey, Kelsey, is there any questions?
Yeah, there's 2 questions that came
Yep.
in. First one is from Tom. What would be the latest to place an order before Christmas?
Now,
Oh, man. Yeah.
no, before Christmas, it's almost too late, depending on how long it takes for your supplier to make your order. And if you're even going to go as close as January, or anybody placing order very close to January or whatever, I'll say you make sure it is trade assurance, because just in case your supplier doesn't make it to come back after the Chinese New Year, at least you can get your money back. But I would say do it now. If you need to order, please do it right now. Don't wait till later. It may be too late.
Yeah.
Okay. And from Rad, hello, Afolabi. Do you have a 3PL in Canada? If you have, there are a few Amazon sellers asking 3PL services on Facebook. So
Yeah, I wish I do. I don't have at the moment, but I wish I do.
All right. And Simon had some comments. There's a massive shortage on shipping equipment, containers, trucks to move the containers from factory to port and ships. There's also a total chaos at ports. The next 2 months look pretty ugly, and due mostly to the massive increases in online sales, there's a real shortage of cardboard that is going to hit hard in Q1 with shortage and price hikes. So,
Norm, I know you have all this data. I heard that Black Friday sale in brick and mortar store went down 52% for the first time.
Wow.
52% in brick and mortar store.
Yeah.
Yeah. People didn't go out to get anything. Everything was online.
Well, Tony Sagar is here too. I don't know if Tony wanted to pop on for a second. He's got a retail store, I believe. It'd be interesting to see what his store did this Black Friday. So, hey, Tony, if you're able to either get on, or if you can let us know, how did your retail sales go?
yeah, I can send you a link, Tony, to join the chat if you'd like. But let's read his question. Hi, guys. Have you used Amazon Global Logistics Program to ship direct from China into FBA? I heard you can save an oversized and pay later.
I know people, I've heard people using that. The only caution with that is just make sure you use a buffer. Don't let them pick up from your factory. If Amazon knows your factory, not good. So use a 3PL inside China, or like a logistics center in China, and let your factory ship to that logistics center, and then Amazon Global shipment can pick it up from there.
Right. So, okay. So why is that important?
Because for you to use a buffer.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, then Amazon will go to your factory to pick up. Then they know your factory.
Oh, they know it from the invoice, don't they?
It's only, they don't require invoices unless they have a problem with your order.
Yeah. I'm just talking about your initial getting on board. You have to provide invoices.
The ones that I know is if somebody reports you or they're trying to verify something, they can ask for the factory, but typically they don't know all the factories we all use. But if you're gonna use Amazon Global Logistics, then they would rather want to pick up from your factory There was a guy in Florida. The way, he says he saves, but he also has a buffer. Whereas in China, that he has to ship his product to, because he just doesn't trust that if Amazon comes to pick up at his factory, because he's selling a very, very high grossing product, he doesn't want Amazon to become his competitor.
I have a feeling if Amazon wants to find out, they'll find out. And I mean, really, we can't even worry about that. I mean, they're going to find out. And if they don't find out, and if it's selling really well, a product, they'll go and find a factory that does make it. But okay, so let's go back to Chinese New Year. It's going to be a little bit different. We've already talked about, if you are going to place an order, maybe do it a little bit differently. Is there anything else that we can do? And I'm looking at economics. There's going to be, like, COVID 2.0. I don't know if there's going to be another round of stimulus checks. I don't know if there's going to be, but maybe we're going to get hit hard. Maybe it's not going to be, maybe people are going to not buy as much. I don't want to say that. I'm an e-commerce seller, but reality is, if all of a sudden there's a downturn in the economy, that could affect us as well. So you don't want to overstock. I'm going to contradict myself, but it's just something that I always have in the back of my mind. Is there, and I'd be interested to see some of the comments here, especially Victor. I like to see what he has to say about that. But anyways, if anybody has any thoughts on the economic downturn, everything looks peachy right now, but I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be. I'm not a mind reader. What are your thoughts?
I think that there's still going to be several rounds of stimulus, because especially in the US, they will not let the economy go down. They will pump in as much money just to keep everything afloat, which means there's a lot of money. There'll be a lot of money also in the economy to make purchases. But you said something at that few seconds ago, that what if everything bounces back and COVID 2.0 didn't really make a dent like it did in the first time? What happens at that time? You probably overstocked, or
right.
What happens? I still think it's better to stay in stock than to gamble, and not have enough, because there will be money to buy. People will still be skeptical. There's a lot of people that have gotten used to working from home and homeschooling. So I still think that it's just going to be a shift from some products into different kinds of products. Some products will still go very, very way up. It will just be like a shift.
I think that maybe one of the things you can look at too, and this is really a point we always talk about, is not putting everything into Amazon. Having the 3PL hold back. So if it does go slower than anticipated, then you have it at least back at your warehouse and you're not getting long-term storage charges. The other thing is that this is where Amazon Seller 2.0 has to come out. Especially if you're making money on Amazon, sometimes you get a little lazy. Oh, it's just we're making sales. We're not tuning in our PPC, or we might not be looking at any other forms of advertising, driving sales from your website over, doing other forms of external traffic. And Seller 2.0, I think, has to look at all those other areas to help build up their sales. I mean, you could do it right now, and that's awesome. Gift guides, for example. Our knife guy, he had a very good bump. When was it? The other day, because of a gift guide, a very well-known gift guide took on his product. And when they announced it, all of a sudden he had a bump in sales. So that's great. But there's all these things that we can consider while we're doing our inventory management. If sales are going slow, well, what can you do? What other forms of external traffic can you build? But here's another question about Chinese New Year, manufacturing in general. So you've got your product out there, you've negotiated your terms, you've signed off on a production sample. How far in advance do you book your inspection?
Right now, it's about 2 weeks out. Inspection and shipping should work hand in hand because you have to do the two together.
Right.
Somebody posted before that she just placed an order. When should she book the shipping? I would say to book the shipping right around less than a week from after your product is finished, and the inspection should be done around the same time. So it's about 2 weeks out now. We don't know if it's going to get worse, but 2 weeks out, do the inspection. In some cases, the factory may be delayed and they may push the inspection back a little bit because they are not done yet with your product. So in that case, maybe maximum 3 weeks out is ideal, but 2 to 3 weeks, I would say to schedule your inspection out.
Okay. And if you're not doing inspections, if you're new to Amazon or private label selling, you definitely want to do an inspection. They don't cost a lot of money. What do you think on average? $300?
Yeah, less than that,
Yeah.
depending on what kind of inspection your product requires. If
Right.
it's a spot inspection, maybe $250, $280. If it is full inspection where we have to, the inspector has to touch every product and examine, let's say 1,000 pieces, 1,500 pieces, it could be maybe 500 to 600. And then you could do production monitoring, whereby they have to monitor while the production is going on. So depending on the type of inspection you need, it would determine which one to get. And they're well worth it, especially Chinese factories will rush your order. They will rush the order before the Chinese New Year. They will rush it, and you need to be prepared to do your inspection so that you don't get into trouble.
Yeah. And make sure, if you've got a production sample that you guys signed off on, make sure that you put on the pro forma that it must match the production sample.
Yep.
Okay. And also, when you're starting the process, you want to make sure that the manufacturer knows that you're not just trying to get a price at the cheapest. If you're nailing your, and there's ways to negotiate this, but if you're trying to get something that's worth $1 for a quarter, there's going to be some corners cut at some point in time for sure. Might be in the quality of the goods. It might be, I don't know, but you have to be very careful about that and let the manufacturer know that you're looking for quality. If not, the typical manufacturer, tell me if I'm wrong here, basically thinks that North Americans or Westerners basically are looking for cheap.
Yeah. I mean, and a lot of people come to us, they have a target price.
Oh my gosh.
I said, okay, your target price may not be realistic. Oh, but I've worked out everything on Helium 10, and Jungle Scout, this is my target price. Well,
1688. It says this on 16, and it's just like, oh.
I said, no, there's a target price and there's a realistic target price. You don't want to buy a $6 item expecting to pay $3.
Yeah.
You are going to get trash.
Yep.
And I try to explain, it's got to be a win-win situation for you and the supplier. The supplier has bills. He wants to make money. He has employees as well. You've got to find that harmony between both of you. It's a relationship we're building. You've got to take care of your suppliers. They'll bend over backwards for you. They will give you very good terms if you have good relationships with them. It has to be a win-win situation. So what kind of price should you be looking for? I would say the best price. Go for the best price, not the lowest price. What is my best price? It is the lowest price I can get for the best quality.
Yeah, and consolidate. Like if you can check 2 or 3, 4 or 5 different manufacturers, plastic shoe stretchers. Get them all in and see which one's best. And usually what'll happen is if you're using a sourcing or trading company, you can consolidate them and they'll give you their opinion on it. And then you can at least have a fresh view of what they think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so dangerous going out there and just, oh, the other thing too, we had, I think it was in the group or on the Facebook page, somebody was asking about, they wanted to launch. It was a first time order, and they were talking about packaging, and they wanted to do this very quickly. I don't ever recommend this under most circumstances, but it was rushed to get it out, needed to get it out. And what I said was go to the manufacturer and just see what their best possible packaging would be. But if you do have time, that's not the way that I would go. I would definitely try to find a packaging company, a good designer, and then make some really high quality packaging. But sometimes if you have to go with the manufacturer for your first run, get it out there. And then on the second order, third order, fourth order, constantly improve, read reviews on, what people are really saying about your product. And don't think that every 3, 2, 1 star is a fake review. Just take a look at what the common elements are, common denominator, and try to improve it. And I don't think we see that very often. People buy a product. A lot of people never buy their own product. And we don't get a lot of revisions. And I mean, we really hope that we see that, and I'm just talking from our end, but if you've got, there's no way that you're just sending out a plastic shoe stretcher and it's out there and there's no revisions. I mean, there's got to be something wrong with it. Either the quality of the spring, quality of the plastic, the thickness of the plastic, the quality of the packaging. How can you beat your competitors on page 1? And that's basically, like we were talking about with John Lee, PickFu, is take a look at everything that's happening and go to a focus group or PickFu and check it out. And then come back to a guy like Afolabi and say, look, can you do this or can you do that? Or ask the trading company, is there anything that they would recommend?
Yep.
Any thoughts on that?
Yeah. In terms of the realistic and also realistic expectation and the quality, somebody just posted, I think it was Alan that just posted that you get what you pay for. And I want to talk about rushing the order. People come and they say, oh, I want to make this product and I want to launch in 1 month. The product has a lot of customizations. If your product has customizations, you can't get it done in 1 month. If not, it will be rushed. And many factories in China, they always say yes to everything.
Yeah.
You said something that if they don't get you now, they will get you after. Some people come to us and say, look, I was able to get it for 20 cents cheaper than you guys. I'm like, okay, no problem. It's fine. And then they come back later. They're having problems because the factory would tell you yes. The factory would rush your order. Which brings me back to that. You mentioned something about what to do before Chinese New Year or for COVID 2.0. Another thing we're seeing real quick is factories are getting fully booked at the moment. So orders that should take 30, 40 days is now 60, 70 days.
We're seeing a lot of that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's starting to happen. That means you should almost have a multiple or a backup factory for your products so that if one factory is filled up, you can always use, or you can split your order between 2 factories. That will make you avoid this long turnaround times.
Okay. And you should always have, I know it's hard for a lot of people to go out and find another factory or two or three. But usually when you're looking for a product, you want to at least have two or three. You don't want all your eggs in one basket. I've seen it where all of a sudden something's happened to a factory. And this was in North America, by the way. It almost killed this one company when they didn't have a different factory that could easily have got their product done for them. Same thing overseas, is that if you can do two or three or four or five, we try to target between 3 and 5 if we can find them. But anyways, if you can do that, that's always the better. And then you don't have to split your order. You might want to, but typically once we find one good supplier, we'll stick with them, but we'll always have that other supplier in our pocket. Here's another thing, certification. So this has come up. We've heard people talk to us about certification. Well, again, you're gonna hear me say this again. 1688. People, we've got to do a podcast on, and I don't want to ram any sites, but 1688 is owned by Alibaba. It's more for the Chinese community. A lot of people have said, oh, go to 1688. It's the secret website for sourcing. And this is where the Chinese get all their stuff from. Well, first of all, maybe people are from China here. But if you're not from China and you can't read the website, it's very hard. Now, there's going to be people on here that say, oh, I can do it. Yeah, but there's a lot of reasons why you could go there, but there's probably more reasons why not. First of all, they're not bound by they're not bound by North American law. They're not, the certification's not there. The price that's given, if you were able to translate it, is only for listing. That's it. They don't have to honor it. I've got probably 10 things. I know I've written an article about using a site like that. Not that I want to ram it, but it's not for North American or Western buyers to use. It's a loophole that people think that they can get a lot of cheap product from, or cheaper. You can go there, check out your product, and then go to either an Alibaba, see what the sites are, or send it over to a sourcing agent and they can get it. You're going to notice that the taxes, there's I'm going to talk about, Kelsey, make a note of this, and we'll put a list attached to about the being careful about 1688. 1688.com, and we'll give everybody a copy of that if you're interested in learning more about it. But people do think that they're getting around the system, and you're not.
You need an export license to export.
Oh, that's the other thing.
Products.
Like they don't have export licenses. A lot of them.
It's good that you mentioned that. About 2-3 weeks ago, one brand, one of their products just got shut down, and they asked them to bring MSDS just to verify it's a toy product, and they got it off of 1688, and
they couldn't provide
the MSDS for that product. So that kind of ended a 2 or 3 year reign of that product, because they just weren't responding, because they don't speak English. 2, they don't have a clue what the child safety certification is, and they're just selling for the local market. You bought it; it's made for the local market. If you have to export it, you have to get export license out to be able to export it out of China.
And there's another. I just remembered this. One of the other things about a site like that is the quality standards in the Chinese community in China are much different than in North America, where the standards, have to be here. If you're listening to this or watching this on video, here, where in China, they don't have to meet those requirements. And so you could get a far inferior product. But Kels, is there any other questions here?
Yeah, there's a couple questions, but before we do that, should we discuss a bit about the giveaway today and what it is?
Sure.
Yeah, and then we can give.
Afolabi,
Yeah.
why don't you describe the giveaway today?
All right. So today we're giving away our Tariff Terminator service. And everybody knows what Tariff could do. If you put the wrong tariff on your product, it could make or break you. Most of the forwarders or agents, that are putting, HTS code on your product from China, most of them are wrong. Most people are using the wrong HTS code. They're using HS code instead of HTS code. So by the time you bring your goods into the US border, you're paying so much. It could mean to some people $20,000, $30,000 in savings if you can use the right HTS code. So today we're giving that away. We would help you reclassify your product. So that's what the Tariff Terminator is. You give us one, the lucky winner gives us his top selling product, and we'll help you reclassify to make sure you're paying as low as possible in tariffs.
Right, and that's the HTS codes we're talking about. Harmonized tariff system.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm gonna put the link in the comments if anyone's curious about it. But yeah, to enter into the contest, let's say hashtag Cyber Monday. Because it's Cyber Monday. Nice and easy.
That's lazy.
Okay. Oh, wait.
No, we can do that.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's Monday.
Hashtag Cyber Monday. And by the way, this is a $500, $495 regular price. If you go to the website right now and try to buy HTS, it's worth it. You'll save a ton of money, but this is free. So it's a $500 giveaway from Afolabi. Thank you, sir.
All right.
You're welcome.
So, so Cyber Monday in the comments, and you'll be entered into our fun little wheel that picks the winner. But yeah, we had a couple questions. Let me see. There's a large conversation going on right now. There was one about Biden and the Trump tariffs, if he's changing them or not. Do you know if that's happening? Here. Is Biden going to reverse the Trump tariffs?
Tricky. I would say yes. It might. I would say 60-40. What do you think, Norm?
I'm keeping my mouth shut about all of this.
Politics.
Yeah.
It is politics, and I don't know. I'm just thinking, to get back to, maybe to get back to Trump, you might want to, reverse some of them. I'm leaning 60-40 that you might reverse them.
But there, you know what? This is on topic. So we're not going down another rabbit hole. But if a lot of the times with HTS, okay, we've seen it. We've actually, when we've done presentations, we've shown some real examples where people were paying the Trump tariffs, and without doing anything illegal, it just reclassified exactly what the product was, but without. So you saved the 25%. That went right back into your pocket.
Yeah.
So, I mean, making sure that you're using the right tariff is so important. And the other thing, I was going to ask you another question about splitting countries, but this also gives you the ability to go to a country that you might not have gone to. It could have been Taiwan for electronics, or it could have been maybe Korea for beauty products or cosmetics. Not that I would buy cosmetics from China, but that could be why you went to China to do it, because Korea has incredible beauty products, but they were that much more expensive. But now, if you could remove if it's going to cost you 25% more, and you can go over there, and it's going to cost you 17% more, you're still winning.
Yep. It's not just about Trump tariff. I think it's about tariff in general.
Yeah.
There are some tariffs that in the 25% range, even before Trump added anything to it. So the good thing is, it's a good practice to actually start paying attention to your tariffs, to make sure you're paying as less as possible. Why should you pay 15% when you're supposed to be paying 3, or when
Right.
you're supposed to be paying 7?
Yeah.
So
Just back in your
Trump,
pocket.
Trump tariff or no Trump tariff, you should be using the right HTS code. Your
Right.
Chinese factory always gives you HS code, which is the wrong one. You should be using the HTS one, which is the 10-digit one that we use in the US here. It will save you money, Trump tariff or no Trump tariff.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, and I just noticed something from Alan. He was talking about Megla, and yeah, she knows her stuff. Source in Asia, I believe her site is.
Yeah, there's some people mentioning
Or
sourcing.
sorry, that was Elaine Saris's. It's source in India.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, we got our most ever entrance into the contest today. So
Oh boy.
we got like 10 people competing right now. Yeah, Victor's saying India sourcing trip. Okay, there's another question. Let me see. I have to.
By the way, Victor, Megla does have an incredible India sourcing trip happening. I don't know when it's going to happen next. It might be next year, but I will let everybody know in the group and on the podcast when it does happen. I definitely want to go on that one too.
Okay, so Darwin is asking, is there any general tips on optimizing logistics? I'm doing standard things. Currently have a 3PL that I have inventory sent into. I deal with 2 shipping companies directly that gets good overseas.
Well,
Get goods overseas, yeah.
yeah, I mean, look, optimizing logistics, it's a broad subject. It's got to be specific to your type of product and the turnaround time. Your goal in logistics is to get from point A to point B at the most affordable cost and the easiest way without wasting time. And the planning is the most important thing there. Got to plan ahead of time. 3PLs, they don't like your product sitting for a long time. So if you can get your logistics streamlined to a point that you don't spend more than a month in storage at your 3PL, you're going to save a lot of money. And your goods have to be packaged the right way. Don't, I've seen goods coming to us and they're all, they're not good. Anytime we touch goods at the 3PL center, you're paying money. So make sure you put your suppliers to work. Make sure they pack things exactly the way you want them to pack it. Don't let them mix boxes together. Let them label your boxes the right way. Let the pallets be in the right size. All those kind of things are very, very important. 3PL centers, anytime we have to rearrange your stuff, anytime we have to sort your stuff out, you are paying a lot of money to do that. But put your supplier to work. Let them do all the work for you for free before you ship it to any 3PL center.
Right. Okay. Next question, Kels.
That was pretty much it for questions. There is a bunch of comments. Can go through a couple of them.
Sure.
Let's see. Yeah, so this is what started the Indian selling. Check out India Mart. It's the Craigslist of Alibaba. It's weird and you have to be careful, but there are real factories in there. I found a great one.
Oh, great.
And Victor said, I'm also evaluating Indian sourcing options. A good sourcing agent there can add tremendous value. And then Megla's name got thrown into the mix. And yeah, that's it for there. And then Marsha just came in with a big comment. Recently, I had quality issues and unfortunately had a large real retailer come to our aid to get China to understand our quality is not there. I was sorry I did not have a quality inspection. We now make all of our products in the USA much better on many fronts.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I mean, US, there's so many options. US is definitely one of them. I know Amy Weiss, she has her product. We did the packaging. For her. And she's getting into retail right now. But she had her molds made overseas. It cost her $60,000 to get the molds done. But if they would have been done over here, it would have been double that probably or more. So there's certain things, you don't have to have everything done in China. China's convenient. There's all sorts of other countries that you can look at. India is the next big one on the list. But I know when I got started doing this 20 some odd years ago, we set up factories in Taiwan, but then it just got too expensive to run them. But okay, I want to go back to certification for a second. So how do you ensure that you're getting the proper certification? So let's say it's a wood product, or it's a plastic shoe stretcher, it's a toy. How do you know, how do you find out if the factory is properly certified to provide those things, and that they will be able to provide them so you can get them onto Amazon?
You do a factory audit. You get the certification, the certificate, and you cross-check the certificate. Let's say you're dealing with CPSIA, or you're dealing with UL certification, or you're dealing with CMA or something, or CSA. You on the CSA and UL website, they all have the names of approved factories there. So if the factory you're using gives you a fake or phony certificate, you can always verify on the main association's website. So, but the first step is to do a factory audit. Alibaba sometimes have these certifications listed on the products page. So that's one of the things I like about Alibaba. They're very extensive in doing stuff like that. Even though some phony factories do come up with some fake stuff in there, but you do your own factory audit just to have your peace of mind. Most of the inspection companies will do a factory audit for you and tell them to show you the certificate, and go and confirm their factory name on the association's website.
Yeah, and that's a good starting point. So, I always like finding suppliers on my own or with you, but the going over to Alibaba and checking out, let's say it's a plastic shoe stretcher, and you can see if there's any certificates that are associated with it. If it's a wood product, is it fumigated? Is it, there's different things that you have to look out for. The other thing, like let's say that you have essential oil, or like in our case, we make hand wipes, screen wipes and stuff like that. Well, is the alcohol content proper? Is it the proper chemicals? Well, getting that tested, because a lot of the time, do you want 10% essential oils? You could find yourself with fragrance, which is a lot less expensive than having an essential oil. So you send them out to a lab. But these are all things that would be done during an inspection. You can find this out usually on Alibaba, but you also have to tell the inspection company sort of the different about your product. So they might recommend, sending it out to getting it analyzed at a lab rather than, and they might not suggest that until you tell them about it. So anyways, that's just a couple of other things, to look at when you're buying product, especially for the first time. You can check out Alibaba, check out the certification side, and then make sure that they have that.
Norm, can you say something a little bit more? Because I know many people, because of COVID 2.0, they want to go more into disinfectant and into wipes and stuff like that. And I know your family does that. Can you say more about what they really need to pay attention to in terms of certification? Because many people will still go and be selling wipes and stuff. Can you say anything that what they should watch out for? FDA or EPA, all those kind of things.
Yeah, like there's different quality, and I'll just mention this really briefly, but something that you would use, an alcohol that you would use on a screen, okay, on an Apple computer with a glass screen, is completely different than what you would put onto a plastic lens. Most people don't realize that. And it's completely different than what you would put onto your hands. So, and there's different, and this is important for labeling. You have to understand labeling. So for me, with soap, or for hand wipes, or for glass, you have to put on certain symbols that show that it's flammable, or that if you breathe it in, it could be harmful. But there's also all sorts of legal disclaimers, and if you don't do it properly, it will come back and bite you. You'll end up with a container full of product that is a container full of product because you can't sell it anywhere.
True.
That's it.
True.
But okay, so I think that's it. Any other questions from anybody watching today?
No more questions. I think we got them all.
Okay. Oh, I see Alan attended the workshop in India last year from Megla. Yeah, it looked like it was a really good one. I think Tim was there as well, Tim Jordan. Okay, so I think that's it for the episode. Let's try to see who won this 500.
Okay, just a second. I need to find it. And
Oh, there it
okay.
is.
Oh dear.
Wheel of Fortune.
All right, so we got, if my calculations are correct, 11 people that entered today, which is our highest yet. So thank you everyone who entered, but there can only be one winner. So let's see who it is. So 3, 2, 1.
Ooh, there you go, Alan.
Alan.
All right, Alan is the big winner today.
All right. So, yeah, I guess, how does Alan claim the prize?
He would just, he will reach out to me, and we'll have Kathleen, he will tell us which product. We'll send him a link, and he will fill out a questionnaire of what product he wants us to do a HTS on, and we'll do it for him. Okay,
so Kelsey, why don't you reach out to Alan on Facebook, grab the information, and then we'll send over the information to Afolabi. And yeah, congrats, Alan. All right, so that's the end of the show today. Afolabi, thanks for joining me.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for having me.
And I hope we can get you back on shortly and see what's happening in January. I don't know where it's going to go. I hope it continues to climb.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows. We have to January to know.
All right, sir. So we'll talk to you soon. Right. And that's it for today's show. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Once again, if you're interested in looking at the whole podcast and clips and content, other content, go to Norm Farrar, aka the Beard Guy, on Facebook. If you want to see this face, you can go to YouTube to Norm Farrar, and we're uploading new videos and clips every day. Also, we do have that newsletter, and the newsletter is, it doesn't suck. I think that's what we always say. It doesn't suck. It's got tons of content, and you can find it on Lunch with Norm or normanfarrar.com. And Kelsey, where are you?
Yes. Thank you guys for joining us today. If you haven't yet, you can still like and share this video. We got a couple thank yous coming in. This is from Rad, Jackie, Mark, Alan. It's great having you guys. We really appreciate you spending the time with us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you want to join our community, you can head over to the Lunch with Norm Facebook group. It's getting bigger every day. Got some people discussing. We had some questions about Amazon selling today, I think from Dr. Kaz, actually. So if anyone knows anything that can help him out, that would be great. We look forward to having some discussions with you guys, and I think so. Oh, and anyone who won the prize, I think on Friday for Carlos, we will get you the prize. I'm just waiting for the code, and then I'll send it over to you guys. So I think there's like 5 of you. So we did not forget about you. Too. Yeah.
Okay, so Wednesday,
Wednesday, yes.
We've got the one and only Helium 10's Cassandra Craven. So that's always a fun show. But she's going to be doing a
recap.
social media update. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's like a recap of 2020 and the apps to look forward to for 2021. So any strategies, kind of what's happening and what you should look out for that.
All right, so that'll be good. I always love having Cassandra on. She's great. Okay, so that's it for today. Tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time at noon. And thank you again, everybody, for watching today's show.
Entrepreneur.